Hello guys, this is Pep from Pep back at it again. As I told you guys, we go on this week with no camera. It's just too hot in here to even put a shirt on. So as you may have seen from the thumbnail, this time is just an updated version of the Fusion deck. I'm talking about Dark Cavalry plus a lot of stuff. It was actually updated thanks to Miracle Rupture, because with Miracle Rupture we can just send a rock type monster to the graveyard, and all the substitute materials, the X-Sealed Fusion cards, are all rock type, so this can actually be a turbo boost for our Dark Cavalry. So before jumping right into it guys, just a quick reminder, if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it and really helps me a lot. Let's jump right into it. So here we go with wrong click. Oh no, it was right. Here we go. So this is the deck list. So as you can see, we still have the same core with the triple Blazeman and the double Vian as the warrior type monsters needed for the Dark Cavalry summon. Then we have 5 monsters among the substitute materials, triple X-Sealed Fusion and double King of the Swamp. And then the last engine we have is the double Alistair and Invoker plus Invocation. So now that we can so easily get the X-Sealed Fusion in the graveyard thanks to Miracle Rupture, we can play Magicalized Fusion. Even with the previous version, where we played Nails Fusion, we had actually a really easy way to send our rock type monster to the graveyard. But the problem was that because we used Nails Fusion, we weren't able to use the Magicalized Fusion in the same turn, so we had to wait a turn. And that's why we played Necrofusion. But in this case, with no Nails Fusion that actually stop us, that actually prevent us from special summon after we use Nails Fusion, we can just play Magicalized Fusion and go straight away. For example, after a summon with Polymerization, we can just go straight away with Magicalized Fusion and go with our second summon. This actually opens to a lot of thick board, stronger board, and also easier way to go into our boys. Keep in mind that the Magicalized Fusion can summon not only the Dark Cavalry, but it can also summon the Millenniumized Restrict, that is a spellcaster monster, so we need a substitute material for the Relinquished, and then any effect monster. It can be also a Dark Cavalry that was destroyed previously. And also another addition, we have the Time Wizard of Tomorrow. Same stuff, we need a substitute material to replace the Time Wizard, and then one effect monster. It can be whatever you want. Why do we play Time Wizard of Tomorrow? Just because it's like a Regeki, you know, in a dangerous situation we can just use it. We pop everything, and then if we are lucky we can even inflict some more damage to our opponent, so that's really a nice way to get out of a dangerous situation. And what we have next, of course, we play Alistair and Invoker. That's why we have one Purgatrio for even more lethal, but I can ensure you that that cavalry is definitely enough alone. And then we have the Caliga to have even more options for our turn 1, so keep in mind that you can definitely go straight away with the Caliga and Millenniumized Restrict, so as soon as your opponent activates a monster's effect, he is gonna be the only one, and you can even negate that with Millenniumized Restrict's effect, because you can suck up that and negate it. So really good. Guys, the deck is pretty straightforward in terms of combos, but I can assure you that is one of the most difficult deck, one of the most big brain deck, because you have to know what your opponent's playing. You have to know which are the combos that usually that type of deck plays, and because you have to intercept that, and so you have to know when to summon the Millenniumized Restrict, when to summon the Caliga, when to summon the Dark Cavalry, because there are a lot of situations where Dark Cavalry is not that useful anymore, and you just have to go into Millenniumized Restrict, as you will see, you're gonna see in the replays, and even you have to actually choose wisely your negations, as you will see in the last replay, so stay tuned for that. I'm gonna lose, but you're gonna see that I just lost for a misplay. So before jumping actually into the replays, guys, if you have some questions, of course, don't be afraid to ask. We can jump right into the replays. Here we go, my boys. First replays against Declan. Let's see what he's got. He's got Commands of the Doom King. So he's gonna see right there. He actually, I think he had the win, but he actually misplayed. So as you can see right there, we have of course our combo right there, and I decided to go with the Dark Cavalry because I thought about the Abyss Ragnarok, but I could have done even something different, I guess, maybe with the Millennium Eyes Restrict. Maybe it could have been a little bit better. So he's got the Swords Lime, so the King Genghis, that is not a problem for us. Then use the effect of Swords Lime to summon the Armageddon and pop the effect of the Genghis to summon the Ragnarok. Here comes the mistake, because at this point you could have just won. I mean, because he does not know if I have some hand trap in my hand, but with this, you can just attack. Instead, he decided to go for the effect of Ragnarok. I can negate that, as you can see, and then he went for the other fusion right there to go with the triple D Oblivion King Caesar Ragnarok. This guy has unfortunately just 100 attack more, and you can just attack, but we're not done yet. Look at that, Alistair Invoker, and here comes the mistake. I could have just gone into the Purgatorio and get rid of that instead, because I can just boost him up with the effect of Alistair. Instead I went for Kaliga. I made my calculation. I think that back in the duel I thought that the effect of the Ragnarok could have been activated even with the monster he was battling with, but instead he cannot target the battling monster. That's the thing. So I just went for this Kaliga just to ensure me to survive, and he's got the double pop right there. Then he had to use the effect of the Horthrosis to pop both his spell cards in order not to die the next turn, because of course he's not going to finish me right here. But we just went with a Jigglized Fusion, so we're chilling. Alistair the Invoker to go into Invocation, then Invocation into Purgatorio, just by banishing his Genghis, and at this point recycling the Alistair. We're not done yet, because we can just use Magicalized Fusion into Dark Cavalry at this point, so we can negate if he has a Book of Moon. There you go, Book of Moon negated, and at this point there's nothing he could do. We can just attack, use the effect of Ragnarok, but we can just negate that as well, so there's nothing he could do. I mean, Purgatorio plus Dark Cavalry is just such a strong attack board. There you go, my boys, that's how you do it. Here we go, my boys, second duel, interrupting a 3-win streak against Sarah. Let's see what we've got. It's him to begin. He just has Warrior, actually Warrock, and look at that, how a couple of actually just Dark Cavalry can be enough to stop our opponent. We have Dark Cavalry number 1 to negate stuff, then Invocation to use the Geist Center to the Graveyard to go into Purgatory. Of course, we do not need Alistair even if we have Invocation, because we can just use the substitute material that has Alistair and we're good to go. I think there was some delay, guys, so he just didn't use his backer. I thought it was maybe a couple of Book of Moon. I just had a couple of cards in my hand to negate both of them, so just to show you that most of the time Dark Cavalry is more than enough to get you the win. There you go. Here we go, my boys, interrupting a 2-win streak against Aster. So let's see what we got. It's him to begin. He's got Clock of Destiny Heroes. So we're talking about Destiny Heroes, of course. There you go, the Clock Tower Prison. Then the skill to grab some counters. And then he's got a couple set and he's done. So we have all we need, as you can see right there. First thing first, we went for Blazement. Someone actually adding the Polymerization. Then Polymerization into Dark Cavalry number 1, then Miracle Rupture. So keep in mind right here, the Miracle Rupture can just fill the graveyard for our Magicalized Fusion. So there you go, a couple of guys right there to go straight forward into Millennium Eyes Restrict. So there's no point into attacking because he's got that. So he's got the Mystical Space Typhoon. I decided to negate that because I didn't want him to bring a lot of monsters out. So Drill Dark right there, and as you can see, he did use the effect of Drill Dark because he knew that I could negate that. So just Mask Change into Anki, then second Mask Change, second Anki to pop my Millennium Eyes Restrict, to add the third Mask Change that he just activated straight away. Wrong move. I can just use my Destiny Draw next turn, so there's really nothing he could do at this point. It's just done. Destiny Draw. I think I would have dropped maybe Alistair, who knows. and they just surrendered. So that's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Fourth duel, my boys. Let's see, 30 cards, kite tender. It's us to begin. I started with Vine, sending another Vine to the graveyard, using the second effect to grab a polymerization. Then there you go, polymerization. It's time to use a spell card into Millenniumize Restrict first, then Magicalized Fusion into the Dark Cavalry. What a turn one that was. So we have a negation of targeting plus a negation of effect. So it began with the Senju. I let that go through actually. He went for the ritual play, actually attributing the Shirith and then Trishula. Keep in mind, guys, that to use the effect of Millenniumize Restrict, you do not have to chain it directly to the effect you want to negate. You can just chain to any other effect during the chain, then target the effect, the monster, actually the effect you want to negate of, and you're good to go, as you can see right there. So Trishula's effect first, of course I want to negate that, but he has the priority to chain the effect of Shirith. No problem, we can just chain Ice Restrict straight there and target the Trishula, so he gets the effect of Shirith, but the effect of Trishula gets negated. And we need to negate that because Dark Cavalry cannot, because the effect of Trishula does not target. So it's got the effect right there to add the Valkyrias, just to stop my battle phase, but that is not gonna be enough, because look at that, Blazemans had another polymerization. Then at this point we can just attack, use the effect of the Valkyrias, but he has to discard it, so we can just change the effect of Restrict, suck up that, become insanely big, negate the effect, and go for lethal with just one attack. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Last but not least, my boy, this was the duel I was talking about during the deck list breakdown. So I lost this because of a misplay. Look at this. I just began with the Blazeman having a polymerization. Then of course I went straight forward into my Dark Cavalry, and then I used my Magicalized Fusion to go into Millenniumize Restrict. So I had everything I needed, one negation plus one targeting negation plus one effect negation is what is going for the Shuffle Reborn, as you can see right there. Then straight away into the Folding Dragon. He activates the effect. I can just chain my Millenniumize Restrict. I'm gonna suck up, and look at how big I'm gonna become. And here comes the mistake. He went for the Typhoon. At this point I had to negate the Typhoon, because it could be actually highly predictable that he wanted to have this in the graveyard so that he can special summon it from the graveyard and then rank up Xyz on top of it. So, and that's exactly what happened. This was my mistake, because without that he could have done a thing. I mean, even with Galaxy Zero, without the Xyz monster, he could have done nothing. So then it just went with the, of course, the Armored Folding Dragon, and I couldn't actually recover from this. They can just attack, and then it was careful enough not to activate the effect anymore. We can just speed this thing up. I went for Kaliga, but of course was not enough. Book of Moon to target that, and then the Cypher Blade. You can just attack at this point, rank up Xyz, tip up even the other one, and as you can see that you go Galaxy Zero, and then just straightforward with the play. So keep in mind, guys, knowing when to use your negations is the most important thing, guys. So guys, that was all for today's videos. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, guys, if you have some questions, feel free to ask me whatever you want in the comment section down below. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.